and welcome back. Today I wanted to quickly share with you 5 tips when it comes to public speaking. Now, the other day I was speaking at an event, and then just before I got there I spoke to one of my friends, and she said, how do you stay cool when you have a public speaking engagement, when you have a keynote to do in front of a large audience? And I shared with her 5 tips that I thought I will share with you also. Now, the first one is, before you get there, always make sure you understand the audience. So I always ask the person who engages me to do an event for them to speak. I always ask them about who is going to be there, what sort of an audience, because then I can tailor my content to make sure it's applicable for them. Because of course, if my audience is super happy, I will already feel happier also while I'm doing the presentation. So it just gives you a little bit more security, and it makes your presentation more engaging, because I find it a little bit lazy to never adapt the content. I think it's really important to adapt it to the audience. And the second tip is very sort of common sense. It's really just, but it saved my butt very many times, is to bring, I always have a little pack with an adapter. I bring my laptop, which is a Mac computer, with different adapters to fit into the plugs that they have there. I bring my own clicker. So I just bring my own sort of cable salad. I call it my cable salad little parcel that one of my team members packed for me, and I bring that because often they don't have the right adapters if you bring a different computer, so I'm just not going to be running around trying to find things to plug into my laptop. It always works, and always a USB, because worst case scenario I can put my keynote, if you have slides, onto the USB, and then they can put it into their computer. And then number 3 is get there a little bit earlier. So I usually tend to get to my speaking engagements, depending on what I'm doing and where I am, in which city or which country. I usually get there an hour before if I can. And that is really just to get to know a few of the people that are running the event, also so I can thank them when I do the presentation, and just to see the venue and set up, and not to rush around last minute, but usually I set up straight away if I can. Sometimes there's someone else before you get on, but if I can, I set up, and then I have a little bit of time to talk to people, or even just go and have a drink or have a coffee, or just chill out for a minute. And then number 4 is also stay a little bit after the event if possible. So I usually also, again, I try to not have a booking straight after, so I have to run out, because sometimes, even though you might allow people to ask you questions in your presentation, some people don't want to speak up publicly. So if they don't want to speak up publicly, then at least you give them the opportunity to come and talk to you after the event if they choose to do so. So I always hang around. I always tell people too, I say, when I finish up, I say, hey, if anyone has more questions or would love to come and talk to me, I will be around. And then number 5 is the big one, which is the one that my girlfriend asked me about, which is the nerves. How do you stay calm? How do you get there, and how do you not have butterflies? Well, first of all, I do still get butterflies if it's quite a big audience, or if it's something new that I'm talking about, or I still, especially if it's a larger audience, I still get butterflies. But usually I now figured out how to manage my state, and so for me personally, but you find out your own ways to manage your nerves, but for me it's really just being able to do some deep breathing, like meditation, sort of like a meditation, deep breathing. And also I've anchored a body position that brings me back into my calm. And that is really just having both of my legs flat on the floor when I stand, and my legs, my arms next to my legs. It's called the mountain position in when you do yoga, but that is my sort of power position that I come back to if I start to get nervous, or if I forget content, or if something is a bit off and I'm doing my presentation, maybe walking a little bit, I just go back into my mountain pose, and that's what I've anchored to bring back the calm and to really tap back into my brain waves that are bringing me the ideas. And so those are the 5 tips. You gotta work what's working for you in terms of nerves, but definitely breathing, meditations, finding a power position that works for you always works. I hope this is useful for you, and if you know someone who speaks a lot, does a lot of speaking engagements, then you're welcome to share this with them also. Now let's go out and create some ripple effect, because why not?